He's why we share our story. Jesus.
Hey there, Metro parents. We survived day 2 of Summer Jam and Wildlife, and we're looking forward to spending just a few moments here with you, once again, to equip and encourage you as parents to be the disciple makers in your kids' life. So today's overarching theme for Summer Jam was that Jesus helps us use our gifts. And yes, at the point of salvation, we know that the Holy Spirit comes into our lives and He gives us gifts and abilities that He wants us to use for God's glory. And the same is not just with us, but with our kids. So we want to figure out and discern and give opportunities for God to do a great work in their lives, continue to work, to use their gifts to impact the world around them. So, Crystal, how do we help our kids discern what their gifts are?
Yeah, so, honestly, it starts out really young. So, our kids will have a tendency to see different things and observe different things in the people around them, in the world around them, and taking note as parents, because they might be complete opposite of you. And so really just praying through and familiarizing yourselves what the gifts of the Spirit are. And honestly, to be able to foster those in a way that is age appropriate. So for instance, a 2 and 3-year-old might, we have one child that is just incredibly intuitive when it comes to people, and we could pick this up even when she was a baby, and just notices when people are hurting and leans into that and will give them hugs, and her hugs just feel really magical and special. And so there's just different ways, even as toddlers, that they're communicating that, and so just trying to pick up on that as parents.
Yeah, so that's you discerning that she has the gift of compassion, right? And that then plays into the next kind of how do we then develop this? How do we encourage this? So if we notice our kid has the gift of compassion for somebody that is maybe feeling like a loner or is going through a hard time, how would you go about encouraging them and developing that?
Yeah, so from an early age, we have an incredibly open door policy. So we do life in the context of small group, and we honestly try to do life on life with our people as much as we can. So we have people in our home often, and I feel like even just having a conversation, with people, and this one particular daughter will pick up on it, and she'll come into the room and just give hugs, when it's appropriate. So just not isolating ourselves, but living within the context of community when they're really young. Too young to be signing up for serving roles in the church and that type of thing, but as they grow older, there's going to be serving roles that are going to.
And we've seen some of that with our kids, even where we've seen them have the gift of compassion or something like that. We start giving them opportunities, right? So you discern what it is, you give them opportunities to exercise that gift, you encourage them to exercise that gift. So we have a couple of our kids help out in Metro Kids as volunteers, right? So if they have a heart of compassion, they might see another younger kid that they're serving in the classroom with, and see that they're a loner or just kind of on their own, and they can utilize that gift and be a friend to that person, right? So it's really discerning and then creating opportunities, and then actually speaking into it as well, and saying keep on doing this, this is God's work in your life.
Right. Yep. And I feel like God is just really faithful to bring opportunities. So recently we had a Sweet Mama friend invite our girls to be mother's helpers, and I had never even heard of that role, but it was just such a perfect way for them to spend a couple days a week during the summer to come alongside and be big sisters and little helpers, and grow their nurturing and their compassion for little ones. And then we have our son really has a servant's heart, and so he'll see things that our neighbors are doing and just be moved to want to go along and help them, whether or not they're offering to pay. He wants to come alongside of them. So I think just making space for your kids to just naturally kind of fall into some of the ways that God has uniquely gifted them, and then to fan that flame as parents, to make sure that we make space so that they can lean into the ways that they've been uniquely gifted.
All right. Well, thanks again, parents, for joining us for another parent session. We'll see you tomorrow